your little valleys or your peaks, you're going to be in big trouble. But every loss and every win, they're trying to make the playoffs and trying to win it all. So you're thinking about every loss. If you lose in April, it hurts just as much when you lose in January.
And time now for tip-off. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
Is out there with Alexander. Then it's Nash. Then there's Dwayne Wade. And it's Jordan looking at the 2 spot. Now here's Ishak. Toronto walking the ball around here. Outside Jordan. Let's go. And it's Wade to the top on the assist from Michael Jordan.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, this offense is going to be there for them.
Well, nobody really knew, Greg, what to make of Washington going into last year's playoffs. They came out strong with a big sweep against a pretty good Raptors team.
Yeah, how about taking them down 4 straight? And it was the first time a team has swept an opponent without home court advantage since 2011. Also was the first sweep for the Wizards in franchise history.
We're about 1 minute into the first. And the Wizards with possession. 4-point game. They couldn't put the pieces together losing that last matchup with Boston.
Probably their poorest defensive effort all season long. At home, that kind of team is not going to cut it. Never mind when you're on the road.
Hey, I don't know, guys. This may be all speculation. Perhaps they had a bad flight into town the night before, and we all know a rough flight in can lead to turbulence on the court.
Here's Nash. Plays it in off the breakaway. Nash has got his first points of the night. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for the Raptors?
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
Especially this first half.
There's time for Toronto. They won that game against Cleveland.
To stop.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at him.
Wall tackle. And Toronto will come the other way. This their first look at this year's Washington stuff.
And they swept this club in the regular season, but ended up falling to them in the playoffs.
Yeah, it just shows you never know how the regular season matchups are going to play out. Who knows how it plays out tonight? We'll watch and find out.
And then Wade slams it in.
It's taken them no time to build this lead. A great first quarter offensively.
No time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense. I think they're going to try to put this one away.
Shot. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
So far, so good for them at the offensive end here in the early going.
Great field goal percentage to start exactly what they were hoping for.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Steve Nash. That is his first foul of the game. Knocked away. And again, Toronto running the court in transition. Wade passes to Usher. Stolen by Doug. Humphries with it. Just 3 on the clock. They get it again. Goes out. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's on Mbamamutu.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a 3-point opportunity.
Full throttle, pedal to the metal attack basketball. I like that.
He hits one, then this is the second attempt from the free throw. And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. The Raptors out in front, up by 11. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center.
I found that card I left.
Yeah, I know.
Is it any good?
Yes.
It was?
Yes.
It was under your bed.
Multiple star in this league, but make no mistake, his focus is squarely.
Was it a $50 one?
Yes. For Christmas.
Main thing for me is going into this season is just trying to win. I mean, I got my own goals set aside that I don't talk about, but just know I got them in my head.
You
but,
didn't even know it was there, did you?
Yes, I did.
Be the playoffs.
Wall's the kind of guy that has his eye on the prize all the time, and the less emphasis.
What's that, to buy games?
Yes.
Can you use it again tonight?
Yes.
Go! Get out! Out!
One thing is going to satisfy
Fine.
him, and that's
Stay in here.
chasing that rim.
Hey!
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, the Raptors enjoying a nice lead here.
This has been a shooting drill
Done.
thus far.
Warm-up jumpers.
You want
because there
it?
hasn't
Stay
been
in
much
here.
resistance.
Stay in here.
Here's Dudley. Drops it in for the 11 feet.
Don't touch nothing.
For the Wizards. And for Marcin Gortat, he was such a good fit for the Wizards last season. Actually, the last two seasons.
You know, he runs the floor very well for his side. A terrific finisher, solid in the pick and roll, can make the mid-range. You know, he's been one of the more consistent centers in our league.
Chris Humphries is out there with Gortat. Then there's Jared Dudley. Then there's Ramon Sessions. And it's Neal in at the shooting guard. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
Wade has the open look. That's good with the Douglas assist. 20 points for Wade.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep.
You know, getting back to Gortat, he signed that 5-year, $60 million contract a couple of years back. Raised some eyebrows at the time because he's not a supreme athlete, but his size, effort, and refined skill set have made him worth it so far.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. Nene, he's checked in for Gortat. Otto Porter Jr. comes in for Chris Humphries. Bradley Beal's checked in for Gary Neal. And it's John Wall for Sessions. Here's Jordan. And down the Raptors with another bucket.
Boy, they're going on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing. And talking about Gortat, I like what he can do for you defensively. Doesn't really have a vertical, but uses his length and timing to alter shots. And he moves his feet well enough to close out on shooters and also cover the pick and roll. So solid and complete in terms of the football.
The Wizards achieve 2 of 3 for the free throw line tonight.
And guys, there is a time when people wonder if John Wall could be a team leader. And that question has been answered in Denson. Unquestioned leader of the Wizards.
The Raptors making the switch here. Alexander's checked in. They'll pop it in no time at all. Porter's got 5. 2 minutes now played in the second quarter. From deep, Jordan, and the shot is good. On for Wall, Greg, and leading the Wizards, it did take some time. Now he does so much, Clark, for the franchise.
On and off the floor, he's really the face of that franchise and has a chance in my mind to be an MVP candidate. At some point in his career, and it's moving up #1 draft pick.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Fast break to Jordan. And 3 from Jordan. Good. Frazier picks up the assist. And that's 15 points for Michael.
They just continue to splash home those threes. Eliminating the deep shot has to become priority #1 for this defense.
Absolutely. You cannot allow a team to have that kind of a rhythm from
service delivery right there, fellas. Wonderful entry feed.
That bucket in no time at all. Jordan's got 17.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
From deep three-point range. From past the arc. And that one's good. Jordan's got 20 points.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. Here's Dudley. And Washington again with the bucket. It'll count. Very from outside. I think we may see a review here. That was pretty close. And we are not going to halftime just yet. Officials signaling they are going to review the tape.
And to me, guys, it looks pretty clear-cut on the instant replay. I mean, the ball was out of his hands in time. I think they'll confirm this one pretty quick.
Well, I can't see how they've come to any other conclusion. I mean, we have a good look at it on the replay. The clock's still ticking.
No, why you're crying?
And they've overturned the call. The replay was conclusive, and that one's going to count.
And Kevin, an example of why it's good to have a replay. I don't know what kind of impact it'll have on the final result, but you always want them to get every call right.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. It's the Raptors just dominating this one. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. I'm here with Dwayne Wade. Obviously a great half for you guys. What has allowed this team to be so effective?
Well, one way is get out in transition. Besides that, we run our offense to make sure we get paint touches.
Lie down!
Inside out. We got guys who are very aggressive, so it's working.
Lie down!
Dwayne, thank you. So many weapons on this
Lie
team,
down.
guys.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
Thank you.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, and it's the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. Toronto came out looking very confident. Competing with a chip on their shoulders, they started things off with an 11-3 run. After a well-executed first quarter, they held the lead by 11. Then in quarter number 2, it was all hands on deck, and what a show it was. Quality execution, good efficiency, some tremendous defensive play helped them take a decisive advantage, and they're running away with this one. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, they were completely in rhythm shooting the basketball. Just watching the flow of their offense, everything clicked into place. Fantastic shot selection. They took advantage of everything the defense gave them.
And over to Shaq, your take on the Wizards.
Well, with the way they struggled to defend the three-point line, it started to look like warm-up drills. They cannot be afraid to bring more defenders out high. They got to make life tougher on those outside shooters.
And that'll do it for now as we send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
So for Toronto right now, D-Wade out there with Alexander. Then it's Omer Asher, and it's Michael Jordan, and it's Nash in at the point.
And Toronto had a strong season against the East last year. They would end up with 33 wins against their home conference and earn that 4th seed in the East.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers.
And the Raptors did play the other West teams well went 5 up against the rest of the Eastern Conference playoff teams, too.
And despite that, we know the Raptors had a disappointing playoff run to end the year, but I thought they still showed that they are a power in the East by having another strong season against the conference.
And here's Wall, following the three-pointer by Michael Jordan. Beal gets a wide-open look. No good. They had a chance to end the run there.
There's so many games that decided how this team wins or rebounds. That's held true in this one so far.
Their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
And stolen by Nash. And here we go. Wade into the hoop.
This defense is giving their shooters free reign to operate from behind the arc.
And when you allow shooters to get in a rhythm, then you're going to have problems because they can hit it even when you start to defend it with intensity.
And turnovers always a factor. They've become a big factor in this game.
And they're starting to reap the benefits here, guys. Points off those turnovers, they hold a huge advantage.
And here again, the Raptors in transition. Up the court they go. They get the rebound. Austin Nash fires for three, and he gets it to go. Nash has got 11 points.
The D has gotten a little lax defending the three-point shot at that end.
3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have come from beyond.
Wade from outside. Good, and the assist goes to Nash. Nash has got his 6th assist on the night. 12 of shooting, and he's at 44% clip here. And stolen by Nash. And 3 from Jordan. And again, 2 with the triple.
He's finding all kinds of ways to get it done. What a quarter he's had.
And Clark, they've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, I think so. Too cool. I mean, just not forceful enough, not alert or aggressive enough. Sometimes trying to do too much with the basketball.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that.
Wade for 3, and he trains the 3. But let's see, they may need to review it. I'm not sure the ball was out of his hand in time. Well, we thought the third quarter.
The play is under review.
Are going to review the play to see if he released the ball before the buzzer.
And even though, you think it maybe we don't need the replay in a situation like this, still plenty of time left in this game, and really it's about getting the call right.
Yeah, and the NBA replay center in Chicago is queuing up the footage for the officials on the floor. And the new process is making for quicker turnarounds, I think.
It's good.
And Kenny, an example of why it's good to have a replay. I don't know what kind of impact it'll have on the final result, but you always want them to get every call right.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Toronto ahead, opening up a huge gap. We'll be back shortly live from the Verizon Center. You back as we get going here in the 4th quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. Here's Temple. We've got Jared Dudley. Garrett Temple is out there with Gary Neal. Then it's Chris Humphries. And it's Gooden in at the 5 down low. That's the group on the 4 right now for Washington. The drive by Wade. Going on him, and he makes the easy one. Wade's got 15 points here in the second half. With the steal. Dishes it to Wade. Ring shot on the way. That's it. Coming off a nice assist from Douglas. Douglas has got 3 assists now in this one. In a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Raptors.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
And for the Executive of the Year award, it's hard to evaluate evaluate because for GMs, Clark, it takes years of moves to reach a certain point.
Yeah, it's an annual award, but it's awarded for years of decisions. If that makes any sense. One big spending and trade isn't quite enough to win the award.
Tries a three. Dwayne Wade with another three. Wade's got 40 points.
You have got to make some kind of a defensive adjustment here. He is just lighting them up from beyond.
Greg, I don't know what else they can do. I mean, even when they've closed out on him, he's still been knocking him down.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Oh, here's Douglas all alone. He had a nice open look right there. 44 points for Wade.
Just giving up way too many transition opportunities.
You know, it's okay to give up a few if you're getting them back on the other end, but that hasn't been the case here.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for Toronto.
You're right, so it was a standout performance across the board. They were just at times seemed toying with it.
Yeah, like watching a cat play with a mouse, Kevin. Yeah. They were able to do more or less, whatever they wanted to do.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And it will be a fight, Greg. When you see an opponent that many times, it's inevitable those games take on a little extra attitude.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Wade. He was extremely efficient offensively, got looks, and put down big shots all game long. And they're not finished just yet. They're going to make sure about this one.
Yeah, not taking any chances, Greg. This is how you close a game out. Textbook.
And the Raptors hit again from deep.
Well, guys, they came in here and really took charge from the opening tip. This is such a tough thing to do for a visiting team. This contest was played on their turf.
And, you know, that's not the way it usually works in the NBA. It's going to be a great win, and you know it's going to be a happy plane ride out of here for sure.
Loose. And there's the Steve Nash checked in for television. The feed now to Neal. Tipped away. Douglas with the steal. And again, Toronto running the court in transition. Took him no time at all on that one.
Another bucket added to the lead. They've been the better team in every facet.
And in my opinion, you get extra bonus points, extra eye of the beholder points when you do it the way they're doing it on the road.
It has been a 3-point barrage for them since halftime.
Not sure if it's been by design or simply by accident, but either way, it has been impressive.
That's good.
Just dialed in from the 3-point line in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they're putting a world of hurt on them with the triple. The good news is they've already got this game wrapped up.
And he makes the first. Good on goal. It's good.
They are putting the hammer down. A huge lead right now.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about their offense or their defense. I mean, it's all been good.
And so Toronto takes this, but by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, I'm here with Steve Nash. You guys faced a team tonight that really gave a strong effort, yet you were able to overcome them in the end to pick up this victory.
You know, we knew that we had to find a way to stick with it. At the end of the game, you just try to
hang with it for your team and try to make plays for your team. And you guys are making plays at both ends of the floor. We play pretty good basketball.
Steve, we appreciate the time. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. Now we'll go to the studio with the award-winning Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's quickly move forward now to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Wayne Wade. It was nothing short of a professional offensive clinic he put on today. He hit shots from every place he took them, and he took a lot of them to score more than 50 points.
One thing that stood out to me was his contribution from deep. We know he can hit the three ball, but we saw him do a lot more damage than normal. And that really opened up there.
What can you say about the show he put on tonight? That was simply basketball greatness. You hardly get a player that gets that focused, that determined. He did the work of 3 players out there tonight and got the points to prove it.
Line up.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.